Hello students, welcome to ShirtBack Academy. In our lesson today we're going to be covering section 3.2 in the ITF Plus course. The topic for this lesson is operating system components. Let's begin. Our first system component is file management. File management is where we create and administer a system that correctly handles our digital data. It organizes our data and provides a searchable database for quick retrieval. Typically, administrators will set permission levels so users can access different file locations and types. Assigning roles for users is a key file management best practice. Within file management, the operating system can allow us to organize, edit, and manage all of our data files. Within a file management system, we will see folders and directories. File folders are the common organizational structure we use to store individual files. We typically may have permission levels for user access to different folders. Subfolders are file folders that are stored within another. These are effective ways to name related data files. Directories are groupings of individual folders within a single location. We use what are called directory trees to put the order of file folders in sequence. Root directories will contain all the other file directories and folders. It's called the highest directory because it also contains core operating system process files. File types are the names that are given to specific kinds of files. Image files such as JPEG are going to be different from Microsoft Word documents. Be familiar with common file types, including word processing, spreadsheets, and presentations, digital images, audio, and video. File extensions are a grouping of letters after a file name that will identify the format of the file. For example, document files have a file extension of .doc. A couple more examples are MP4 files, which are movie files, or JPEG, which are image files. Our operating systems will have file systems. The file systems will format data before it's written to a hard disk partition. Most operating systems can read multiple file system types. File systems should be able to provide structure and logic. We need speed, security, and size. File systems are used with local data storage. This provides file access over network protocols. Some file systems have even been designed to be used for specific applications. One common file system is FAT. That's short for File Allocation Table. It's a common file system architecture that's used in industry standard file systems. There are several FAT file system versions. One is FAT32. FAT32 is known for having a larger file system size. It allows for individual file sizes for up to 4 gigabytes and has a file volume size of 2 terabytes, which is short for Extended FAT. This allows file sizes individually of over 4 gigabytes. It's typically used within the Microsoft operating systems. Some other common file systems to be familiar with are Extended 3 and 4, NTFS, and CDFS, which is Compact Disk File System. The third and fourth extended file systems were used primarily with Linux. They typically had maximum file sizes of 16 gigabits and volume sizes of 4 terabytes. NTFS, which introduced features such as data compression and encryption. The compact disk file system, CDFS, allows operating systems to read from CD-ROM disks. Data compression is the operating system process that reduces the storage space of hard disk files. Whenever a file is saved to the hard disk, the operating system will run data compression. It places unused files into inactive status until its next retrieval. Data compression does require larger available disk space, as the application files will run through the process. The drive space is the built-in compression feature that we see in modern Windows operating systems. Modern operating systems use encryption. Encryption is the process of encoding data from its original form, which we call plain text, into a scrambled form called ciphertext. Encryption uses algorithms. Algorithms are complex rule sets that we use to encode the data. This makes the information unreadable to unauthorized users. The encryption keys are the passwords that we use to encode and decrypt the data by the authorized users. Decryption is the process of decoding the ciphertext back into its original form. It requires the correct decryption keys to unlock the file. User permissions are the operating system feature that sets access rights for individuals or groups. There are three common user classes. Administrators are the access level that manages and controls the system. Standard users can access applications and the internet. Guest levels can typically only access the internet and have no access to files. Our users will be given different file permissions. Three common access rights to be familiar with are read, write, and execute. Read is the ability to view a file. Write is the ability to modify or change a file. And execute is the ability to run the file. Task scheduling is the operating system feature that organizes the time and order of system updates. Queues are the locations within the operating system where system tasks are sent for ordering and completion. Most queues used FIFO, first in, first out task ordering. The completed tasks are temporarily stored in the memory until the device will reboot or power off. The operating system will delete these files first when we need to active memory space. Device drivers are operating system software that allows attached hardware devices to interact with the OS. The driver updates will enable the latest security settings for the hardware. Device drivers are common with devices such as printers, wireless mice and keyboards, and Bluetooth devices. Patching is the process of downloading updated drivers for security and antivirus software. The drivers are usually specific to a vendor, so always check to make sure you have the correct operating system version and physical device model. The command line interface is typically abbreviated as CLI. It's a computer program that allows us to perform system commands through a text line input. Windows command line has a black background with white typeface, and the Apple Mac OS called Terminal has a white background with black type. Some common features we use with the command line include accessing file directories, routing internet paths, and finding device IP and MAC addresses. All modern operating systems have graphical user interface, We commonly call these GUIs. Graphical interfaces allow people to interact with the operating system through images and audio. GUIs allow the operating system to have users input in several different ways. Users can move their mouse and the screen cursor. They can click on graphical images, or you can even use touchscreen or stylus pens. Graphical interfaces are standard in all mobile devices, such as smartphones and tablets, and some are open source that allow users to share files and software across platforms. That will conclude this lesson. If you have any questions about the contents of this lesson, please review section 3.2 in the course notes and exam objectives. In our next lesson, we'll cover section 3.3, software features. We thank you for following along to the video. We'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.